Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Lost. This is the final episode of the second season. Yes, this is episode 24. Hopefully you guys are excited for today's episode. It is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. As we've been running our most likely to dislike characters of the season as well for the past 10 or something episodes, those results will be shown in today's episode. So if you've not yet voted, do not worry. You can obviously change what we're about to see today because the vote will continuously stay open. And if you're interested in voting on the next show onto the channel, it is in the description as well. Currently, it looks like Prison Break is absolutely dominating the charts, but you can still vote. We're only on season 2 of this. We've got a long way to go before the next show appears. Speaking about the next series coming to the channel, yes, tomorrow's episode will be Westworld. You know, if it's not your favorite thing, do not worry, because in 10 days time, season 3 will be back. And if you're even interested about watching it further, then obviously season 3 will be starting on the Patreon on Saturday. Yes, so only a couple of days wait if you want to get that early access, or you can wait obviously until the second season of Westworld is finished before we come into the third season of Lost, because I've not even yet watched it. So, you know, we're kind of going to be watching it together at the same time. But without further ado, this is a finale. I'm going to show the most likely to dislike characters of season 2 right now. If you want to skip to the main part of the episode, timestamps are at the bottom. Do that as you please. Thanks so much for checking out the channel, and let's just jump into it. Okay, so here we are on our most disliked characters of season 2. I think that can only actually be one choice here. You know, like, I'm very, very surprised if people actually change it. To be honest, I'm not going to lie. Up until about the 13th episode, or up until the episode that Henry was captured, so I believe that may have been episode 14, I was going to pick Jack as my disliked. He stresses me out, man. Like, I really do like him. He got my most liked character in season 1, so it's not that I dislike him, and I take it on a season by season basis as well. You know, you can have a great season and a crap one. I'm not going to be biased, you know what I mean? I voted you the top character last season. If you do me heading, you're getting a dislike. So sometimes, you know, I can enjoy the character, but you can do stressful things, and that also affects it as well. You know, I wouldn't say there's anybody actually on this list that I do not like, but I would say I disliked them the most in the season that we just watched. And up until that point, Jack just stressed me out. We consistently thought that he was in charge in every decision that he makes. I love it as well, because he's always putting his life on the line to save people, and that's the counter towards what I'm about to say. But I also feel like as well that he doesn't let people make their own decisions. He wants to make it for them. You know what I mean? Kate wants to do this, you're not doing it. Well, ultimately, he's kind of right, but he wasn't right in terms of, like, you know, they ventured out into the woods, she got caught. They had to hand over the weapons. They had to go back empty-handed. But technically, if he let her come, she wouldn't have had to get caught. She wouldn't have had to been trailing behind. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he makes decisions just the same with the backpack as well. You know, last season, you know, you're not having a dynamite, I'm having it, etc. Switching the bags, even though he lost the draw, you know, the straws. So I don't know, man. Like, I do love Jack. I think he's a great character, but he was stressing me out up until that point. But then ever since then, you know, Henry, again, his smug look, he was doing my head in as well, proper doing my head in, but I was loving it because of all the actions that was stemming from him. It was making the episode so interesting. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we've seen what's happened. We've seen somebody from season 1 come back, be selfish, kill Ana Lucia, kill Libby, and now obviously he's leading them into a potential trap here in the final episode, and that person is going to be Michael. So that is going to be my most disliked character of the season. Yes, he's not been in it massively, if I'm being totally honest. He was heavily involved in season 1, not so much in season 2, but his actions and his selfishness and, you know, his betrayal of his friends and people who put their lives on the line for him has ultimately made me choose this one. So let's have a look who you guys have voted for. Okay, so here we are on our most disliked characters of season 2. Michael has took the lead with 19 votes. That is 45.24% of everybody's choice, with Kate coming in second and Henry in third. Now, the interesting thing is, if you would like to know the Patreon side of it, they had it as Michael as well. They had Kate and Jack and Henry all on one, so it doesn't really make any really difference there. It's Michael that's progressively gone up. They've got progressively, you know, like a couple of votes themselves, but Michael is the one that we have to focus on. And let's be honest, as we just reviewed then, you know, he was so selfish, and you know, his actions, I know that he wanted to get his son back and he was devastated that he lost him in season 1, but everybody was there willing to help him, and he didn't have to betray everybody, and he didn't have to come back and go to the extreme lengths of killing new characters, which we've got Mr. Echo with 1 dislike, we've got Ana Lucia with 3 dislikes, and Henry with 5 dislikes, and they add new ones into the show. Now, I'm actually upset that Libby died and Ana Lucia. I'm interested to see how Mr. Echo, you know, progresses through in Henry, but it's good to see that obviously more people kind of joined, and you know, they impacted people's obviously feelings in the show because you've got votes here. So now I'm excited to see who the most liked character is, because I kind of knew after Michael's selfish actions it would be him, but this new one, or well, this most liked one, is going to be very interesting. Here is the most liked characters of season 2. Now again, do you know what I mean? Like last season I was tossing and turning between Jack and what's his name now? Jack and Locke. I thought both of them are really good. I feel like they're interesting characters. I ultimately chose Jack just because he put his life on the line a little bit more than Locke, to be honest. And Locke was kind of selfish in certain situations. And I didn't say that he caused Boone to die. It was his own decision to go up into the plane, and unlucky that he fell down and obviously it killed him. But I also do feel like he did play a part maybe in his potential healing of him, if that makes sense, because he come back and give false information towards Jack, which then ultimately didn't let him you know, treat him, which helped made him pass away. And that is why I ended up choosing Jack at the end. Now this season I don't feel like anybody's had some crazy standout season, and I actually really like, do you know what, right? I think Claire and Charlie, they make me happy when they're together, and I also think that Jin and Sun make me happy when they're together. I actually really do like it. You know, I mean, I'm considering picking Jin as my favourite character, and I know it sounds crazy. The guy don't even talk, man. Like, I don't even know what he says. I can't understand him. But obviously, just like the way he is, he makes me laugh, and I do like his relationship, and I think the backstory is really good on them as well. And I don't know, man. He's just a character that I do enjoy and I've never disliked. But I'm ultimately going to pick someone who's been more in the season, and I do like them as well. And, you know, somebody had to stand up to them. They put themselves in charge of the camp. They decided that they was going to make decisions for everybody, and somebody had to come in and stand their ground. And who is that man? Yes, it is Sawyer. You know, I'm not saying he's amazing and he's way better than everybody else, but I just feel like he had a better than season 1. Yeah, I do. I feel like his season 2 is better than season 1. I like his character. I feel like, you know, he's progressing as well. He's saying some logical things in certain situations, and he's not as selfish as he was in the past. You know what I mean? In the past, when he wanted the medicine, when he wanted the inhalers, when he wanted this and that, he was reluctant to give it. What's in it for me? What's this? What's that? You know, cut a deal. And to be honest, I have to say in season 1, they was all pointing the fingers at him. And they never actually asked. He was just like, you've done that. Where is it? Give me this. They all demanded. And they never actually just asked, could I have this to save Shannon, so to speak? Speak about Shannon, rip, mate. I can't believe she's actually died. Pretty sad, that one. But Sawyer now, when people say, look, yo, we need the guns, you know what I mean? Like, he's gone to his stash. He's actually revealed where it is. Yes, okay. You know what I mean? He had to show Kate where it was. But he done it willingly. Do you know what I mean? To try and save Libby's life. He also wanted to recruit Saeed to come on this mission here in the final episode, which, you know what I mean? Jack and Michael was reluctant to do, but he tried to use logic and say, look, mate, somebody's been in war. We need them on our side. I just think he's been really good. And yeah, I like Sawyer, and I want to see more of him. So let's see who you guys have chosen for your most liked characters of season 2. Okay, so here we are on our most liked character of season 2, and Sawyer has taken the lead. Yes, Jack won it in season 1. He's nearly won it again in season 2, but Sawyer has pipped him with 10 votes. I picked him as well, so that's really interesting to see. Mr. Echo is coming in 3rd spot. Henry, who had 5 votes on the dislike, has got 5 votes on the most liked. Technically, he's joint 3rd. He come 3rd in the disliked and 3rd in the most liked. And I've got to be honest, you know, Henry stressed me out. He was so smug. But the thing is, he's been very good. Ever since he's been introduced, he's created the chaos, and everything that's evolved around him has been very entertaining to watch. So I can kind of understand why people may pick him. I also really do love Jin. He's got 4 votes. I mean, this is a good mix, to be honest. You know, Libby, Shannon. Shannon's got 1, even though she was in it for like 2 episodes. Anna Lucia, do you know what I mean? I like this mix here. You know, not everybody's just picked one standout person. It's very tight at the top between Jack and Sawyer. That's what we love to see. And yeah, I really enjoy doing these. It's great to see everybody's opinions and see how everybody takes, you know, to the new characters. And hopefully season 3 brings us, you know, even more new characters and more people that we can get behind. And hopefully they don't get killed off. You know what I mean? 2 of them gone already. And I wanted to see more of this Libby storyline with, you know, with Hurley as well. But don't look like we're going to get that now, but maybe in flashbacks, who knows. But that is the most disliked and liked characters of season 2. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for engaging and making the channel even better. And yeah, thanks for showing me this show. You know what I mean? You guys chose it. I'm watching it. I'm loving it. And I can't wait to see what today's episode has in store for us. Just coming back to the screen, I would just like to say thank you again for everybody that takes part. You guys are amazing, and it makes the channel so much better and so much fun to take part in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and enjoy today's finale. Let's jump into the final episode of season 2 of Lost.
Hurley showed me it's around here somewhere.
We're running out of time, Teddy.
Yeah. Here it is.
Careful. Dynamite is very unstable.
Listen, what if we hurt them? Or blow up the computer?
You can leave now, Charlie.
Echo is very upset, John.
Let's just open this door and we can talk about it.
Blow it open with what? Dynamite from the old ship in the jungle.
You're sure it'll hold?
Well, it should hold. The whole point of it is blast doors, you know what I mean? One little bit of dynamite shouldn't be knocking it down. Gonna be a pass one, innit?
Yeah, you should have seen Rosinsky do this. He had a photographic memory. I mean, this whole baby was his idea.
More and more tales about your former partner, yet for some reason, you never want to tell me what bloody well happened to him.
See that brown stain there? That's Rosinsky. You put a shotgun in his mouth when I was asleep.
If you don't want me to go crazy, next time let me go out. I haven't been outside for 2 bloody years.
Why'd you leave that nice old lady's army? You got kicked out because you couldn't follow orders.
And why did you leave your army, Calvin? Huh?
Men followed my orders. Sorry, Des. You stay here.
John!
I don't think it's a good idea, Echo.
Bollocks.
That is a lot of fire. Right, Mr. Echo's got to have no eyebrows after that, hasn't it? You know what I mean? Let's be honest, he's just in there and he's just set that up. I mean, he's got to be burnt. But did he hide behind a post? But that blast was quite big and it did look like even the impact hit Charlie against the wall. Now, you know what, I've got to say, fair play, yeah. I was saying there was no way he was going to the Black Rock, getting the dynamite and coming back in time in the 90 minutes that was there yesterday. But if you look, you know, they used the dynamite that Hurley had, who was going to obviously blow up the armory. So, do you know what? I don't mind how they've tied that in. It makes total sense how they got it. It's still got it because he didn't use it. But those doors should not be broken. I don't care what happens to them. They are blast doors. They're so thick. They're made for that purpose. A bit of dynamite should not be knocking them down. But it's an interesting backstory with obviously Calvin and obviously, what's his name now? I forgot his name, the guy in the hatch. Now, Desmond. But the thing is Desmond wanted to go outside after 2 years of being in there and that guy wouldn't let him. And I don't understand why it's such a massive deal. Why can he go outside and him not? Like, that's what I don't get.
There, a lot of food. I couldn't do it.
What is this?
Fail safe. Turn this key and this all goes away.
What was the incident?
Electromagnetism. There was a leak. So now the charge builds up, and every time we push the button, it discharges it.
I think your friends just blew themselves up, brother.
I thought it was my destiny to get into this. And somebody died. A kid beating my hand bloody against that stupid door. Screaming to the heavens, asking what I should do. And then a light went on. I thought it was a sign. Probably just you going to the bathroom.
That was interesting. I'm glad that he's kind of taking a bit of ownership of Boone's death, or like, you know what I mean, expressing his feelings about it. Oh, okay. That's interesting, that, actually. Do you reckon it's kind of what I said? You know, did I say? I think I did. I think I said that. Do you reckon that village is actually even a village? Or do you reckon it's a facade to give a false perception? Do you know what I mean? So, like, do you reckon, I feel like they created that location and those huts to make it look like to Michael that was their village and that was where they lived and they was guarding a blast door, when realistically they could have took those 2 diamond doors from anywhere, couldn't they? They literally could have took it anywhere and set up a false camp and make it look, like I said, that they've got nothing and they literally live in crap areas. When, if you go back to what Walt was saying to his dad, he said they're not what they seem, or they're lying, or do you know what I mean? Don't trust him or something. I can't remember now. He was saying something like that anyway. Don't believe what you see. He was kind of hinting anyway. That's what I kind of took from it. And I kind of read it, and I thought, you know what? I don't feel like they actually lived there. I feel like it's all a setup to get Michael on board.
Jack?
I was going to say, you'd have to go and scope everything out, wouldn't you? I would anyway. Everything that I've seen. Right, that's where they got sent to, all the notes from the observations.
0400 SR moves ping pong table. 0415 takes a shower. What is this? That means he found them, right?
Saeed said he'd like the signal so that we could meet him at the shore. Why aren't we going to the beach?
Took them to a different location again. Michael, you snake. Oh, they're all gonna get hit. There's nowhere that you can go. That's that woman in it who was questioning Michael.
Two men sat in viewing chairs and filled notebooks, and then they put the notebooks in pneumatic tubes that sent them back to their headquarters.
What if the experiment wasn't on the two men in here, but on the two men in there? Well, was there anything else in that station? A computer?
Yeah. Without numbers. Lots and lots of numbers.
What printer? Where is it? Here.
It's just the input code on it saying accepted, accepted, accepted.
Been shaving every day for the last 3 years. You need to live a little. See you in a couple hours.
Would you tell him? Because I just seen him taping his hands up, so he actually is taping stuff up. Oh, he's just coming out, what? Yo, I really want to see what's going on, man. Desmond's sailboat, innit? That's what he come in.
Well, gosh, I didn't think you had the stones to come after me. What do you think? Want to come with me?
What about the button?
Through the button, man. Who knows if it's even real?
Crazy, you bastard!
Oh, come on.
You stole my life! What else did you like to me about it? What else?
Oh, has he broke his back on the rock or his head? Do you reckon he's put that key in before? I want to know that as well. What's this going on? That's the furthest we've ever seen it go. And it obviously does reset because they're still there now in the present. That was interesting actually. The magnetic pull started to get stronger, didn't it? That was pretty good. I like the sweat that was on his head, to be honest. It made it look good. Do you reckon he's looking for the system failure? Because if he finds it, then maybe he agrees with Locke, or it'll give him some sort of validication. Is that even a word? I think it is. Of like, it is true what he was saying. People were sat there and he was watching him. You know what I mean? And like, he knows that at one point it was saying failure, 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 and hopefully it would have sent it through. So now again, I think it's really interesting that we got you know, this Calvin who's going to fix up the boat, and basically he just wanted to bounce and leave him there. Now obviously that didn't happen and he's beat him up. He must have still known where his boat location was. And that's when, obviously, he managed to get there. But I've always kind of thought, if that was just chilling in that location where it currently is, how come the others have never actually taken it? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're on the island consistently. They live there. They venture out. They would have found it, surely. Do you know what I mean? It even looks in a better condition to the one that they had when they come and tried to catch Sawyer and stuff. So, I mean, it's fascinating how they've left it there for so long. And also, I always feel like they leave the hatch and go way, way, way far away from it. Like, that looked really far. They looked like there was no trees around. They was at the rocks. You know what I mean? It looked totally different. But obviously, 108 minutes is quite long, to be honest. So who knows? He's obviously come back and put it in and has stayed there all of this time until Locke has obviously broke into the hatch.
When did you come here?
What? 60, 65 days.
What was the date?
September 22nd. It was
System
September 22nd.
failure.
I think I crashed your plane.
Is he thinking that the magnetic draw from the plane, it brought it down? Imagine that.
She says she knows your beard's fake, Tom.
Can't tell you how much this thing itches. And thanks for telling him my name.
Innit? Well, there he is. Imagine if Henry was in charge. That's another one that's happened.
Where's your beard?
I think they know.
All right, let's take care of business, shall we?
Desmond's gonna put it in.
We need to push the button.
No, we don't.
9/22/04, September the 22nd, 2004. The day your plane crashed is real! You don't want to push the button? Then I will. No!
Oh, his book. What's he got inside of it then? He must have something there. So do you reckon she's give him that note, yeah, and he's just literally never opened that book all of that time?
I know you go away with the weight of what happened on your shoulders, and I know the only person who can ever take it off is you, because all we really need to survive is one person who truly loves us. I will wait for you always. I love you.
Can't believe he's never opened that book since he got put away. Yo, imagine the day he decided that he had to clean that back up. He's fuming in there, honestly. Lock banging on the hatch, that's what it is. Do you reckon he thinks that's his mate? I don't know, man. Honestly, I really don't know. But the interesting thing is, you know, Locke has broken that computer. Me personally, I don't know how you feel about stuff, but I don't like drags. I actually don't like 24 episodes of a season is good enough for a drag. You know what I mean? Doesn't need to venture out into season 3. Like the hatch, we opened it at the end of season 1. Fantastic. We had the tease all season 1. Can we get in? Can we get in? We done it. With the button, pressed it since day dot. Honestly, pressed it since the first episode all the way up until the very last. We don't need to go into the next season with it. New storyline, please. Do you know what I mean? Not that I dislike it. I just think that you have a whole season. You don't need to continue it on. You could create new stories. I always wanted to see what happens when a button is not pressed. Hopefully we get the answer today. It'll still stress me out a little bit because knowing TV shows and the way they run and the way they operate, the button will get pressed at some point. You know what I mean? But I'm glad the blast doors didn't get knocked down. I'm glad that Locke smashed that thing so he couldn't stop it. But he still might have this key. And we don't know if he's actually gone and put it in this thing before. Who knows? I have no idea. But it's interesting. Also, I like the fact that Henry seems to be the person that's in charge. We've had this, like I said, in the other show, that we had him in Marcus Kane. Yes, we had, obviously, you know, somebody come in as a prisoner. Oh, well, it wasn't, but it was impersonating somebody in a low rank. He's obviously come in as captured, and he's actually the person in charge. He's done the scoping himself, do you know what I mean? And his people have come and got him, and now he's doing the decision. And the thing is, he must know that, realistically, the only person that he should have beef with was maybe Anna Lucia a little bit and Saeed. You know, everybody else has not been that bad, you know. I've not seen Locke go in there and beat him up. I've not seen, you know, Hurley. Jack even tried to defend him when it first happened. Do you know what I'm saying? Sawyer and Kate don't really been down there, so he hasn't really got beef with them ones.
No, no, no! None of this is real! Nothing is gonna happen. We're gonna be okay.
I'm gonna blow the dam, Tom. I'm sorry for whatever happened. It made you stop believing, and now I've got to go and make it all go away.
Imagine knives and all that flying.
I was wrong.
Hey.
All we really need to survive is one person who truly loves us. I love you.
I love you, Penny.
You changing the colour of the sky? Like, is it doing something to the sky? Yo, Bernard, get out of the way. Oh, quarantine door, mate. Just nearly squashed him. That was interesting, that actually. Really good. That must have been so loud. You see everybody? They was all holding their ears.
We got more than we bargained for when Walt joined us, so I suppose this is what's best. You lived up to your word.
We live up to our word, too. Follow a compass bearing of 325, and if you do that exactly, you and your son will find rescue.
How do you know I won't tell people about where I was?
Once you leave, you'll never be able to get back here. And my hunch is you won't say a word to anybody, because if you do, people will find out what you did to get your son back.
Who are you people?
In it. Reckon they're the Dharma Project.
Bon voyage, Michael.
It's interesting that they're actually giving him Walt back, giving him the boat and told him where to go as well. And they said to keep the word.
You can go back to your camp.
What's actually happening?
What?
Your job is to tell the rest of your people they can never come here.
You know, it kind of excites me that they've set him free because it gives me optimism that more people will step up and have screen time next season. Proper selfish Michael this season, hasn't he? He has been, hasn't he? Can have got a plan? Yeah, I'd love it if they already had a plan. I've been saying it for so long. Currently, they keep losing. I need them to start winning.
What happened out there, Charlie?
You want to hear the part about me nearly being killed by the flaming fireball or the flying fork?
And that noise and the sky turned that weird violet colour?
Yes, we love it. What's happened to Locke and Mr. Echo? You know what I mean? We still don't know. It's unknown territory. You know what I mean?
Yes, an
anomaly detected.
percebeu de novo, eles vão matar a gente.
Nós perdemos.
Hello.
Miss Whitmore, I think we found it.
So she sent that team in to try and find Desmond then? I'm not too sure what to think. Like, I know that she did say maybe, what, an episode ago or something. Do you remember when he was about to do the run and she turned up and she was like, how did you find me? And she was like, look, mate, you know, if you've got enough money, you can find anyone. That's literally what she said. Foreshadowing, innit, mate? Obviously for this. But where are they? Why are they in, like, a tent waiting for an anomaly? And, like, how would she possibly know where he possibly is or what she's actually looking for? Do you know what I mean? Because as far as I'm concerned, the last bit of knowledge she would have personally had of him would have been that he was setting sail around the world, you know, to do a dad's challenge, so to speak, and, like, do you know what I mean? He's disappeared. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe she's in season 3. Do you know what I mean? Maybe she's a character that we choose. Has Desmond died? I don't know. Has Locke died? Well, I don't think... and Mr. Echo? I mean, surely not. I thought Mr. Echo might have died, actually. And then I was going to say, you know what? I'm pretty fuming, if I'm being honest. Because that would have mean that Mr. Echo, Anna Lucia, and Libby, who was introduced this season... pretty much all 3 of them have died, and that's quite sad, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, you give us new characters, get behind, good backstories, get very interested in them, and then you take it away. You know what I mean? But again, another thing that I'm very interested in. We'll focus on obviously what happened in the hatch and with the sky and everything that's gone on with the magnetic thing in further a bit in the outro. But just hearing a quick like recap thing, I'm kind of fascinated to see what goes on here with obviously Jack, and Kate. To be honest, all 3 of them was kept and bagged. Kind of looked like Kate and Jack had some sort of plan. It didn't seem like they were scared, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He wasn't panicking. It seemed like they was kind of like control of that situation. It's interesting that it seems to be that Henry's in charge as well. Like I said, I do like it when like leaders put themselves in, you know, tough positions, or like they're the ones that go in the front line. Makes you respect them more as well. So like, if you was them, the others, you would kind of, well, I would respect Henry more, whatever his name is to them. The fact that he's willing to put his life on the line. Sometimes you're like, look, mate, I'm not doing something if you're not willing to do it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. If he's doing it, we all should do it. You know, you got to respect it. The fact is, Michael's been well selfish this season, and you know, I don't blame people for voting for him on the most disliked character. You know, I totally understand it. I think he does deserve to get those votes as well. Again, if we go back to him, he was given the vote. One thing I like about what they've just said is, look, you was a man of your word. You said that you get me escaped. You done it. You know, you said you bring those people here. You did do it. We're a man of our word as well. You asked for the boat, here it is. You asked for Walt, there he is. You want to get off this island? Here's the coordinates or whatever. Head this way and go. You will be safe. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to see if that happens. It's exciting. It's mad that they actually done all of that, went through all of that craziness to bring them there, and actually did give it over. I kind of like that. But also, it gets me thinking, right? He said you're not going to tell anybody because of what happened and killed him on the island, you know what I mean? And you don't want the repercussions of yourself. Like, here's an actual honest question. If I went to, I'm just going to pick a random country, like, well, actually, I don't even know, but basically, say like I went to Africa, I decided to sail around and I got lost in the middle of the sea and ended up on some random island. And on that island, there was other people there trying to attack me and I killed one. If I come back to the UK or to the US, could I get trialed for killing somebody on some random deserted island that people don't even know about all the way over on the other side of the world? I'm not too sure. I understand that technically, yeah, you know, you've moved to one country, killed someone and moved back, but I'm not too sure. It's a grey area. Anyway, in my opinion, that is a grey area. And if I was Michael, I would tell people that he was on that island. I would. But who knows, mate? I think that he's going to be honest, I think he's going to come back for them. And, you know, I'm all for it. But he could never redeem those selfish actions that he's done. Okay, that's going to wrap up the finale of Season 2 of Lost. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. And I'd like to thank every single person that has voted in the most like to dislike characters of this season. You guys are absolutely amazing. Obviously, that's Season 1 in the bag, Season 2 in the bag. The votes will be open again when we turn into Season 3 for that season as well. The next, obviously, episode coming onto the channel will obviously be Westworld, and then obviously we'll do a season of that and come back to Lost. So if you're not interested in that show, it's only about a week long, and then boom, we're going back into Season 3. So thanks so much for everybody who's supporting all of the different series on the channel. Going back to this one, though, very interesting stuff that's going on. Like, what is literally going on with this key? Now, it's good that we got the Desmond backstory and we've seen it, and obviously we got the kind of, you know, conclusion of what happened to Calvin and what happened to his partner as well. You know, he got Desmond in after obviously his guy died, and we didn't know what actually happened, and he explained he shot himself. Then obviously he's been training Desmond all this time to press this button while he's been going out, venturing into the island. You know, I was saying earlier on in the episode, why is the guy so committed to not letting him go out? I don't understand it. Well, I do understand it now, because all he was doing is in that time that he was absent, he was finding Desmond's boat, which he said that wasn't there. He's been trying to repair it and do it up, and he was going to leaving Desmond on the island to press the button himself. And the interesting thing is, he obviously fought, had a scrap, he's ended up hitting him, he's fell back and banged his head on a rock. I'm assuming he's died as well. You know what I mean? We've not seen him again in the show. I'm assuming that was his death. Now, earlier on in the flashbacks, we did see him get drunk, nearly fail to press the button, and Desmond seen him underneath the floor, and he went down, and he was saying, what's going on, mate? And he was saying, look, mate, you know, I'm sick of doing all of this. All I have to do is put this key into it, turn it, that's a failsafe, it's all over. Just like that. Do you know what I'm saying? And then, obviously, in this episode, as you progress through it, you know, Locke was wanting to not press the button. Desmond was kind of panicking, saying, you know, he thinks that they need to. And, you know, the reason why he come to that conclusion is obviously Locke was saying that he's been in that, you know, facility, sat down, he's watching everybody, do you know what I mean? He's took the transcripts out of the coding machine, and he's been going through it, and he's seen the day that his system failure occurred. And it was the same day that their plane actually got, you know, drawn to the island. He's believing that the fact is that when he didn't press that button, you know, from that long period of time when he went out to chase him, and obviously ran back, system failure was going on. It was nearly, obviously, you know, at the limit. He keyed in that thing, but the magnetic pulls were strong. Everything was dragging against the walls, wasn't it? And he's thinking that what's actually happened is because he failed to press that for that period of time, as the plane was going over, it's obviously drawn it down to the island. Well, that's what I'm thinking anyway. I think that's what the insinuation was. That's why he was saying that I caused your plane crash. That's what he was trying to say. So I don't know if that's true. It kind of would fit if that, because I mean the magnetic pull did seem really strong. Everything was being drawn to the wall, do you know what I mean? And if a plane was actually over the island at the time that he obviously the activation slash thing was going, because the guy did say like, look mate, you know, the reason why we did press the button is because every 108 minutes the charge gets so strong it starts pulling everything, like we have to press it to decharge it, and then obviously it'll do it again and we press it again. So like if you think of that and the little drops that we put in, makes sense. I do possibly believe that that probably did happen. One thing that I'm maybe thinking is, you know, these others, I'm thinking they're Dharma people who worked there prior. I have no idea how they got to the island, all of these people, but there's lots of them this time. There is actually lots of them, and I'm not too sure how they've been there, but I'm just going to throw that out there. Why not? Fuck it. You know what I mean? It's just in my head. I'm just trying to figure out where they've come from. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm just going to drop now. It may change as we go into season 3 and get more information. I'm so glad that the button's finished. You know what I mean? Not that I disliked it. I just love it when we end something and move on to something else. It seems like season 1, we had to go into the hatch. We ended it because we opened it. Season 2 was inside the hatch and we had the button. We ended it. Season 3 looks like we're going into this Desmond and his girlfriend kind of story and what's going on there. The others taking Jack and all that. Great stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? We end with a new story to keep us interested in moving forward. Something to look forward to in the next season. We've already had a bit of it dripped, and now we can go into it knowing what's going to happen. Like I said, mate, it's very good stuff. I don't know what happened with him pulling it. You know, he put the key in, turned it. The whole sky changed different colours, mate. They said it was like purple or violet or something. It's just like pure white to me. I was like squinting, couldn't even see it. And then, you know, things just flying through the sky. Do you know what I mean? And I like, Bernard was nearly crushed by the quarantine thing, so I actually don't know what's actually just happened. Obviously, a loud noise was going on as well. Every single person was literally holding their ears. He was like obviously dying because of it. Again, I have no idea what it is. I would like to know if the people, first of all, if the others have experienced this before, this would be the 5th or 6th time this has happened from all of the different, you know, different facilities. If they've not experienced it before, maybe they're scared as well. It is an anomaly to them as well. So who knows, mate? Like I said, lots of stuff has happened. If I'm being honest, right, I thought season 1 was better than season 2 up until probably roughly around Henry joining. There was some good episodes here and there up until kind of like mid-season, but I wouldn't say all of the first section of the season was strong. And then Henry joined, we started to get a bit more chaotic, loads of stuff started happening. And I might say season 2 has edged it. at the end. You know what I mean? I'll have to go back and just have a little think, but just a quick, you know what I mean, quick instant reaction. I feel like season 2 could have maybe just edged season 1, maybe. But I'd be interested to see what you guys think. And like I said, the votes are open in the description. It's there. 3 votes, all 7 seasons, top 3 aggregated, last season of the show. You can see who the winner is. So very, very interested in that one. But that's season 2 wrapped up. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.